In a highly charged and unusual public moment during an Easter lunch gathering, the US President, Mr. Donald Trump, delivered a sharp and emotional message as tension around Iran conflict continued to rise. Well, the remarks came just before a nationally televised address focused on the escalating situation in the Middle East, where the war involving Iran is now entering what officials described as a prolonged and unstable phase. And you know what? It was the tone that was anything but diplomatic. Trump claimed responsibility for major past action against Iranian linked leadership structure, suggesting that previous US operations had significantly weakened multiple Iranian alliance systems over time. In fact, he framed the current moment as a continuation of that pressure, warning that the conflict is entering a critical stage now. But the most controversial part of his speech was not about Iran alone, it was about allies. Trump sharply criticized European partners, including France and other NATO members, accusing them of refusing to take meaningful responsibility in securing the key global route, specifically here the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most important oil passages. Well, he argued that countries heavily dependent on Middle East energy, including nations like France, Japan, North Korea, and even China, they should play a bigger role in managing the crisis here. During his remark, he also directed personal and political jabs at French President Emmanuel Macron, well, referencing him in a very mocking tone that immediately sparked attention and debate across international media. Well, the comments, they quickly became controversial, adding another layer of diplomatic stain at a moment when unity among allies is being closely watched. He made fun of apparently alleged slapping of the French president by his own wife. And wait, at the center of this issue remains a growing strategic dispute. Who should take responsibility for securing global energy route as tension in the Gulf intensified? Now, in particular, the Strait of Hormuz remains a critical choke point, and any disruption over there, it can impact global oil prices, trade flows, and economic stability worldwide. And this is where the bigger picture emerges, right? The US is pushing for broader international burden sharing. Allies are being asked to increase their involvement, and regional tensions with Iran continue to escalate simultaneously. But you know what? Instead of unity, the political messaging is revealing friction. Friction between allies, friction over responsibility, and friction over how far countries are willing to go in a widening conflict. So, you know what this moment really shows? It shows a war that is not just about fighting on the ground or at the sea, but also in diplomacy, in alliances, and in global decision making. It shows growing pressure on NATO structures, and it shows rising disagreement over how to manage one of the world's most sensitive regions. And now the key questions are unavoidable. Will NATO allies increase their role in securing the Gulf region? Will tensions between the US and European partners deepen further? And in the end, can global cooperation hold together as the Iran conflict intensifies?